If you stop paying, what is government for? The primary purpose of government is the welfare of the citizens. And if you hire people, I mean, Ruben, it's not because I was a labor man. I do not pay my worker.
Welcome to Symbol Gist. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button on the notification bell and comment your opinion on what you feel about this video. Also follow me on Instagram at Symbol on the mic.
I do not pay my worker 30,000 naira. Because in truth, I know that he cannot survive on 1,000 naira a day. He cannot. If he has to pay his rent, if he has to wear something to work, if he has to take transport to work. And so if you further cut that, or even worse, refuse to pay it, you are going to have more and more people, not just poor, but so angry with society that they will resort to tactics that might further compound our security challenges. So I sympathize with the situations that governors are in. There are no quick fix solutions. But my advice is, engage the social partners. No unilateral decisions on matters that affect other persons. My salary is my right. It's not a privilege. If I'm in your employment, you are bound to pay me, particularly as nobody is arguing. I mean, what does it cost today to survive? I know that the cost of living varies from state to state, but on average, nobody can argue that the official pay on the table of our public service or of Nigeria worker is on the high side. Maybe those in the oil sector, those in the banking sector, at least some of the banks. There are a few sectors like that we can say that they have what you call a competitive pay, a living wage. For much of the private sector, I mean, when a professor takes home after tax about 400,000 naira a month, to be honest, this is not something you want to joke with. That is not something that will make him comfortable enough to go and stay in his research, in his study, and devote all his time, researching to various, depending on his field of discipline. So for me, I need people to recognize that wages are not paid because employers are rich. Wages are paid because services are rendered, but also because you need to strengthen demand in the economy so that you avoid a situation where people are too poor to procure anything. Now, for example, in the various state capitals, who are the tenants? The tenants that are able to pay their rent are those in the formal sector, of which government is the single largest employer of labor. So if it defaults in payment or reduce what it's paying, it will affect the capacity of workers even to pay their rent. And when they can't pay their rent, those who have invested in real estate will run into trouble. Now, if workers can't go to the market to procure tomatoes, to procure vegetables, and some of the basic things they need, because to be honest,
Governor Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, you are warned. If anything happened to Edo State people, you will be held responsible. You better send back those garbage to where they are coming from, or you go trash them, completely throw them away, or you keep those garbage for yourself and your family to make use of. You have three options to choose from. You either send it back to them, or you trash it, or you keep it for yourself and your family to make use of.
Receiving the relief materials, which include 350,000 pieces of face masks, 18,000 pieces of rapid testing kits, 10,000 medical hand gloves, 200 cartons of disinfectants, and 40 sprayers, Governor Godwin Obaseki appreciated the Chinese Embassy and the Yongxin Steel Company Nigeria Limited for their support in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic in the state.
You are giving us 350,000 pieces of face masks. We really appreciate this. It will go a long way in our current efforts at screening, because everybody who goes to screen in our screening centers, we normally give them a mask and hand sanitizers. So this is going to help us restock our inventory, which was already going down. We now know more than ever before that you are our real friends.
Governor Obaseki, I thought you are a wise man. So you are not trading with Edo State, jeopardizing the lives of Edo State people, because you are trying to build your personal and selfish relationship with the Chinese people. So you don't care about the lives of the Edo State citizens. You are accepting masks and other items from the Chinese people, when you know exactly what is on ground. The same Chinese people that are maltreating Nigerians and other Africans in China, so long you have a black skin, they are not treating them well. And they are the same people sending items to Africa, to Nigeria, and our leaders, they are accepting those items. What kind of love is that? What kind of generosity are they trying to display? They are maltreating our brothers and sisters over there in China, and they are sending items, and they are expecting us to accept them in good faith, and we should not think that they have an ulterior motive, sending those items to Africa, to Nigeria, and our leaders, you guys are accepting those items. My Edo State people, please, you guys should not accept any of those items that was brought from China. You guys should protest that the governor should send back those items to those people, or the governor should go and trash those items. We don't need it. We can afford to provide masks for ourselves in Edo State. Face masks can be locally made in Edo State. We have a lot of fashion designers in Edo State. I truly don't know why most of these governors in Nigeria, they have just refused to have sense and be wise. You guys should learn from somebody like Governor Wike, the governor of Rivers State. Look at the way that man is guiding his state so jealously. He's protecting his state and the Rivers State people. You guys should learn from him, emulate him. Governor Godwin Obaseki, Edo State is one of the few states in Nigeria that is still very safe as far as COVID-19 is concerned. You don't have too many cases. Edo State is one of the few states that has not had a complete lockdown, apart from just some few days ago that you had to put, a restriction from 7 in the evening to 6 in the morning. So Edo State is still very safe. So if you are accepting items from Chinese people, why are you accepting those items? Is there any emergency in Edo State as far as COVID-19 is concerned that you are accepting items from the Chinese people? And I truly don't understand why the Chinese people are so desperate in bringing those items over to Africa, to Nigeria. Nobody has cried that we need help, that we need relief materials. Then why are they so desperate in bringing those items over to Africa? This is my question that I've been asking. Why are they so desperate? They spend their time, they spend their money, they spend their resources, they go through the stress in bringing those items over to Africa. But they are not taking care of Africans that are over there in China. They are maltreating them. Africans, we need to be wise. Nigerians, we all need to stand up and speak in one voice, because our brothers and sisters, Nigerian citizens over there in China, that need this love and care more from the Chinese people, but they are being maltreated over there in China, and the Chinese people are sending items to Africa. There is more to this. I said it before. There is more to this. Because one problem I've come to notice among our leaders in Africa, in Nigeria, is that they have serious inferiority complex when it has to do with a white man. They accept anything that is being offered to them. And this is very wrong. And that is why we Africans, we must stand and speak in one voice. Enough of this nonsense. Africa cannot be maltreated in their country, and they are trying to show us love. We that don't even need the love, we that don't need all these things, they are sending items over to Africa. And please, to all Governor Godwin Obaseki political opponents, please, you guys should not use this message to make any form of political statement. I was not paid for this. I'm not a member of any political party. It is high time we stop trying to make political statement and start fighting a just cause. I am doing this message strictly because of the Edo State citizens, because I am from Edo State. And a lot of people, they have sent me this message on my inbox, on my messenger. They have sent me this message, and I had to just come out and talk on this issue. So please, no political...
Governor Obaseki, make I use this opportunity to thank you for the great work you are doing in moving Edo State forward. Recently, there is something of great concern where I want to talk about. Now about the Chinese donations to you on behalf of Edo people. Ordinarily, there's nothing wrong in accepting donations, but anyone coming from the Chinese need to be watched, because everywhere they have donated this thing, a lot of them are found to be contaminated already. So I beg you, if you must use these materials, if you must use it at all, make sure they are triple scientifically screened to ensure that we don't go counterproductive. If you ask me, I will tell you we don't need anything from Chinese for now because they give us donation, say they like us, or maybe they love us. The answer is no, because evidence of what they do to us in their own country. You will not feel look after me for your own country. Now for my own country, you want to look after me. Make your reason as small. I don't want to live in the bay at all, at the Beboloa. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, hit the red subscribe button on the notification bell and comment your opinion on what you feel about this. Thank you for staying by.